Hey guys, it's Gawain, and today we are going to be taking a look at the best recon legend, Bloodhound. Bloodhound is a recon legend that specialises in intel gathering and hunting down enemies for their team. Quick side note, if I say they or them in this video, assume I'm referring to Bloodhound as they are non-binary. Bloodhound is an incredibly useful legend that can fit into any team composition. Let's learn how to play them. Bloodhound is equipped with their rival reveal, of which they get one on a 25-second cooldown. This is a scan, so when Bloodhound taps the device on their wrist, it will send out a 125-degree orange cone that reveals any enemies, traps, or loot ticks in the area. This cone stretches to 75 meters in front of you, which is quite a large area, so it takes 1.8 seconds to fully cover it. If there are enemies in the area of which you scanned, then you'll get a text box at the top of your screen stating the number of hostiles you scanned. If there are more than 10 hostiles scanned, then this box will say 10 plus hostiles, and if that's the case, good luck getting out of that one alive. Scanned enemies will have their player model outline highlighted for 1 second and a diamond highlighted in the middle of their chest for 3 seconds. This essentially gives you and your teammates wall hacks for 1 second and then weaker wall hacks for a remaining 2 seconds so that you can track the enemy's locations through cover. Enemies that get scanned will have a text box at the top of their screen too saying sonar detected. Everyone is able to see the orange cone you send out, so be careful when scanning, as sometimes you can give away your position without finding the enemies if they are just out of reach. You'll know you haven't scanned anyone as the text box at the top of your screen will say no hostiles. Use your scan to check buildings you plan on setting up in and staying in for a while, or if you hear enemies inside. As soon as you enter a team fight with another team, scan, because the enemy already knows where you are. Why not get the exact position of them to swing things more in your favour? I try to scan as often as possible when engaging a team so we know their behaviour, so we can try to read them and I can coordinate with my team to see if we need to push or play defensive. Bloodhound's tactical is very straightforward, just look in the general direction of enemies, scan and make your moves from there. Just try not to give away your team's position by scanning too early. Bloodhound has 3 passive abilities, 1 being the Recon class passive and 2 being unique passives. The Recon class allows you to scan the survey beacons which are scattered around the map. These take 7 seconds to fully interact with, and once the animation is completed, the beacon will reveal all enemies on your map and minimap for 30 seconds. This is great for tracking down close by teams for some KP or just generally planning your next rotation. The only downside to this is that every enemy on the map now knows your location, because when you scan their locations, they get notified that they've been scanned and where from on their map, so be careful when scanning these beacons. Bloodhound's first unique passive is called Tracker, where they can see clues left by enemies. These clues last for 90 seconds each and include things like footsteps, slide marks, bullet casings, abilities used, and healing items used. You can ping these to warn your team of an enemy's presence and follow them to track the enemies down. You can see how old the clues are by how saturated their colour is, and the clue itself will tell you how long it's been there for. I try my best to follow these when I pick them up because they can lead your team to sneaking up on another team and getting 3 KP for free essentially. However, if the team leaving them behind is too far gone, then you can lose the trail very easily. Bloodhound's final passive is the White Ravens. These will appear 50 meters away from you when there are no enemies around, and when you interact with one, it will fly in the direction of the nearest enemy to you. This will leave a white trail and markers on your minimap that only you and your teammates can see. The enemy in question will be about 180 meters away from the Raven's original position, and interacting with the Raven will restore 25% of your tactical and ultimate charge. Use these Ravens to locate the enemy quickly and sneak up on them to get some early KP. It's been working wonders for me. Bloodhound's ultimate is by far the best and most fun part of their kit in my opinion, because it encourages sheer aggression. This turns Hound into the ultimate hunter. They equip thermal vision goggles so everything is grayscale apart from enemies which are highlighted in bright red, their footsteps which are highlighted red, and your teammates which are highlighted blue. This also launches a white raven towards the nearest enemy and increases your movement speed by 30%, even though it feels like way more to me. This ultimate lasts 30 seconds by default, but if you knock a player, it will increase the timer by 5 to 15 seconds depending on how much time is left, and scanning a white raven whilst this is active overcharges your ultimate by 25%, so adding an extra 7.5 seconds to the timer. Every enemy downed causes another white raven to spawn, and scanning them will also restore your tactical charge entirely, so there is a way to scan more often than usual whilst in this ultimate. I pop this ultimate when entering a team fight that I know we can be aggressive in because it allows you to see through smokes and see exactly where the enemies are when running towards them, none of this blending into the background BS. I use the movement speed increase to flank beside the enemy and beam them from there, making sure to play around cover as much as possible to not get punished for being overly aggressive. If you are overly aggressive and get downed, your ultimate will end immediately. Definitely use this ultimate to make plays and pop off, just remember that you aren't invincible in this state, just a bit faster, so still remember positioning skills and heal if you need to. I find Bloodhound to be a great legend to be aggressive on, but not extremely aggressive like an Octane or Wraith. Using their scan to know where the enemy's exact location in an instant is great for pushing, and utilising their passives to find enemies to fight in the first place is a great way to farm KP too. Their ultimate really encourages aggressive plays as you feel like you're going about 10 times faster than an Octane stim. Or at least I do anyway. Be a calculated amount of aggressive, so push with your team and use natural cover so you don't get fried whilst being able to beam the enemy. With the new legend upgrade system you can choose how you want to buff each legend, and Bloodhound is no exception. At level 2 you get the choice between a 5-second tactical cooldown reduction making it 25 seconds, or you can gain 25% ult charge when you interact with a white raven. At level 3 you can gain 25 HP every time you knock an enemy down whilst your ultimate is active, or you can double the full body scan duration making it 2 seconds instead of 1. I personally go for the 5-second tactical cooldown reduction and the 25 HP on every knock whilst my ultimate is active. It's also worth noting that half the clips you're seeing were recorded before Season 20 came out, so the upgrade system hadn't come out just yet. Bloodhound's a very serious yet calm person, making their personality a bit bland at times but always pleasant to play and be around. It fits their theme of being an honourable hunter. You won't be put off by any annoying voice lines or interactions, they're just chillin'. To fit Bloodhound's aggressive playstyle, I like to pick an assault rifle paired with a shotgun, or an SMG paired with a shotgun. The R301 is my weapon of choice for Bloodhound though, because both of these are just what Apex is to me, if that makes any sense. Like, when I think of Apex I just think Bloodhound, and when I think of its weapons I think of Titanfall 2, I mean the R301. This assault rifle is amazing as it has great iron sights, a great fire rate, good damage, and very little recoil. Both Bloodhound and the R301 are good old reliables that won't let you down in the midst of a team fight. That being said, the 301 can chew through mags pretty quickly if you don't have a purple one. The Mastiff is my favourite shotgun, so I'm going to recommend you use that with Bloodhound too, but honestly any shotgun that you feel comfortable with when getting up in people's faces is good enough. You can make any weapon combination work on Bloodhound, I just like something that can be used short to mid range and then something for burst damage up close. Bloodhound has one counter, Seer. If you get hit with Seer's tactical, he will silence your abilities for 8 whole seconds, so just don't get hit. Scan buildings you're coming up to and hear enemies in so you can throw ordnance in to either flush the enemy out or do damage before engaging in a team fight. Interact with white ravens as often as possible to lead you towards unsuspecting teams to secure some free KP. Use your ultimate when entering team fights that you know you're going to be aggressive in so that you can use your movement speed boost to close the gap quicker and your thermal vision to pick off enemies easier. Scan as often as you can when poking the enemies from afar to keep intel on their positions at all times. Use your microphone to coordinate with your team after using your scan or ultimate to let them know that you plan on being aggressive. This way they are more likely to follow you in and back you up. Overall, Bloodhound is a pretty easy legend to play in my opinion because of the sheer amount of intel you can provide for your team. Learn when to scan, how to use your passives fully, when and how to use your ultimate, how to coordinate with your team, and you are sure to become a pretty decent Bloodhound player. Thank you all for watching, I do hope you enjoyed. If you found this guide helpful in any way, shape or form, please do consider subscribing and sharing it with your friends, as it does help grow the channel, which is very much appreciated. As always, most of the clips you saw in this video were taken from my Twitch stream, link will be on screen and in the description. The remake of the Gibraltar guide will be next for the Apex series, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.